All right, everyone. Well, let's start by bringing our awareness to our breath. So breathing in through your nose and out through your nose or your mouth, whichever feels more comfortable for you this morning. Breathing as deeply as you can. And begin to take note of what is happening in your body with your breath. Can you feel your chest and belly rise as you inhale? Can you feel your back maybe lifting slightly off the floor or just becoming lighter to the floor as you inhale? And can you feel your back floating down to the floor when you exhale? Does your breath feel easeful for you this morning, or does it feel forced? Are you noticing any pain or tension with your breath? You will continue to breathe comfortably throughout our lesson this morning. Bring your awareness now to your head and your neck. How does your head feel on the floor this morning? Are you noticing any pain or tension? Does your head feel heavy or light on the floor? What are you noticing in your face and your jaw? Can you feel any tension, or do you feel relaxed? I'd like you to turn your head slightly to one side, just a slow, small turn of the head, only going as far as you can comfortably. Then slow and smooth, turning your head back to center and paying attention to how this movement feels. Does it feel smooth or sticky? Are you noticing or feeling any pain or tension? Going to the opposite side now, turning your head slightly to the other direction, and then slow and smooth, turning it back to center. And again, paying attention to how this movement feels, what you're noticing. Are you able to bring your head back to center smoothly? Or do you notice bumpy glitchiness within this movement? Moving down now into your chest and your shoulders, your shoulder blades. What are you noticing here in the top of your body as you take your next breath? Are you feeling or noticing any pain or tension? How do your shoulder blades feel on the floor today? Do they feel even? Does one side feel heavier or lighter than the other? Does one shoulder blade feel more lifted off of the floor or heavier down to the floor? Or do they feel the same? Notice how you have your arms and your hands placed. Are they laying long beside you? Are they on your belly? Are your palms facing up or down? Moving down now to your mid, belly, and back as you take your next breath, noticing again how much movement is happening here in your body with your breath, and noticing if you're feeling any pain or tension. And moving down to your low back, low belly, and pelvis. What are you noticing and feeling here? Are you feeling any pain or tension? Does your back, your low back, feel lifted off of the floor? Or does it feel like it's resting comfortably on the floor? Does your low back feel painful, tense, or tight? What are you noticing from side to side of your pelvis? Do you feel even? Does one side feel heavier or lighter than the other? Moving down into your legs, what are you noticing and feeling here? Are your legs long this morning on your mat? Do you have your knees bent? Do you feel evenness from side to side, or do you notice a difference? Does one side feel more externally or internally rotated than the other? Are you noticing or feeling any pain or tension? Moving all the way down through your knees, your calves, ankles, and feet. And with one more nice deep breath, just taking note of anything that you're noticing and feeling in your body this morning. We'll be starting this morning with our tilt and flattens. So when you're ready, go ahead and bend your knees, bringing your feet flat on the floor. Your arms can stay long beside you. And we're going to start this morning with our tilt, and we're going to move right into our flatten. So we're going to go right into the flow of these two exercises. When you're ready, inhale and tilt. Your belly button will rise as your tailbone gently presses down. Arms roll open so your palms are facing up. And bringing your awareness into the arch of your back. Exhale as you slowly, with control, release in your back. Slowly allowing your arms to roll inwards towards your body. And when you've finished releasing in your back, doing another inhale if you need to. And as you continue to exhale, flatten your back down to the floor, tighten your abdominal muscles, and roll your arms inwards towards your body, gently squeezing your shoulders towards each other in front of you. Bring your awareness now to the front of your body. And as you inhale, slowly with control, release in your belly and in your chest as you slowly melt back to neutral. And when you've returned to neutral, rest. Repeat that movement again. When you're ready, inhale and tilt, belly button rises, tailbone gently presses down, arms roll open, and this time gently tilt your head back, bringing your chin upwards towards the ceiling. With awareness now in the back of your body, exhale as you slowly release in your back, in your neck, in your arms, as you slowly and smoothly melt back to neutral. And moving through neutral, going into your flatten, doing another inhale if you need to. And as you exhale, flatten your back down to the floor as you tighten your abdominals, your arms roll inwards towards your body. Now gently tuck your chin, lifting your head just slightly as you also gently squeeze your shoulders towards each other in front of you. Then slowly with control, release as you lower your head, slowly release in your chest and in your belly as you slowly melt back to neutral. You've returned to neutral. Rest. Once you've had a moment of rest, we'll repeat that one again. When you're ready, inhale and tilt, belly button rises, tailbone gently presses down, arms roll open, your head tilts back. Bringing your awareness now into the back of your body. As you exhale, slowly release the contraction in your back, in your pelvis, in your shoulders, and in your neck as you slowly, with control, melt back to neutral. Moving through neutral, doing another inhale here if you need to. As you exhale, flatten your back down to the floor, tighten your abdominals, arms roll inwards towards your body, gently squeezing your shoulders towards each other, and tuck your chin downwards and lift your head just slightly if you can do that comfortably. Then as you begin to release in your abdominals, slowly lowering your head, as you slowly with control release in your belly, and then slowly releasing in your chest as you slowly melt back to neutral. When you've returned to neutral, rest. We're going to repeat that one last time. Go ahead at your own pace, remembering to stay in comfort. The movement with the head can be very small, and if it feels uncomfortable to you to lift your head today, you'll just tuck your chin. So when you're ready, starting again with your inhale and tilt. Moving slowly with awareness as you work to smooth this movement out. Remembering to breathe comfortably, not holding your breath, but breathing smoothly in and out, bringing oxygen down to the muscles that you are currently working with. And when you've returned to neutral, rest. Once you've had a moment of rest, we're going to move next into an elbow to opposite knee. And we're going to throw in our tilt, our green exercise at the beginning of it. So I'd like you to bring your right hand up behind your head, leaving your left arm long beside you. And when you're ready, we'll start again with that inhale and tilt. So inhale and tilt, belly button rises, tailbone gently rolls downwards, and gently press that shoulder blade to the floor and draw it just slightly down across towards the back of your opposite hip. Bring your awareness now into the arch of your back as you exhale and slowly with control release. As you slowly lengthen in your back, melting back to neutral. And moving through neutral, doing another inhale if you need to. And now as you exhale, flatten your back down to the floor, gently lift your head and chest and bring that left knee and right elbow towards each other. Bring your awareness to the front of your body now. As you continue to breathe comfortably, slowly lower your head and foot, still breathing in and out as you smoothly return to neutral. You've returned to neutral. Make sure to rest. Once you've had a moment of rest, we're going to repeat that same exercise on the same side. When you're ready, inhale and tilt, belly button rises, tailbone presses down, gently pressing that right shoulder blade to the floor, drawing it across to the back of your left hip. With awareness in your back now, exhale as you slowly, with control, release in your back, release in your pelvis as you slowly melt back to neutral. And moving through neutral, doing another inhale if you need to. As you exhale now, flatten your back down to the floor and gently lift your head and chest, bringing the right elbow and the left knee towards each other. Bring your awareness now to the front of your body. As you take your next breath, begin to slowly lower your head and your foot. Still breathing comfortably, paying attention for any bumps or glitches. Smoothing them out as you slowly move back to neutral. Once you've returned to neutral, take a moment of rest. Once you've had a moment of rest, you'll slowly bring your right arm out from behind your head, switching to the opposite side, bringing the left hand up. We'll repeat this 2 times on the opposite side. When you're ready, inhale and tilt. Belly button rises, tailbone gently presses, and now pressing that left shoulder blade to the floor, thinking of drawing it towards the back of your right hip. With awareness in your back, exhale as you slowly release, allowing your shoulder blade and your hip to melt away from each other as you slowly return to neutral. And moving through neutral, doing another inhale here if you need to. And as you exhale, flatten your back down to the floor, tightening your abdominals, lift your head and chest, bringing the right knee and the left elbow towards each other. Bring your awareness to the front of your body as you release in your abdominals now, slowly lowering your head and foot. As slow and smooth as you can. When your head and foot are resting, slowly opening your elbow. When you've returned to neutral, rest. We'll repeat that one more time. When you're ready, inhale and tilt, belly button rises, tailbone presses down, pressing the left shoulder blade to the floor and drawing it across to the back of your right hip. Awareness in your back now as you exhale, slowly releasing in your back. Slowly floating back to neutral. And moving through neutral, doing another inhale if you need to. As you exhale, flatten your back down to the floor, gently lift your head and chest, and remember that you want to tilt or turn your upper torso slightly. Remember, this is that contralateral pattern. Bring your awareness to the front of your body now. As you inhale, slowly lower your head and your foot. Continuing to breathe comfortably, not holding your breath. As you slowly lower your head and foot back down. When you've returned to neutral, rest. Once you've had a moment of rest, you'll slowly bring that left arm out from behind your head. We're going to move into a variation exercise now. What I'd like you to do next, you can keep your knees and feet where they are, but bring your arms out beside you into like the letter T position. So they're on the floor and they're straight out from your shoulders. We're going to start on the right side. So for now, your left arm will stay quiet. I'd like you to slowly begin to roll your right arm so that your palm is facing downwards, moving slowly. And once the palm is downwards, I'd like you now to gently press into your thumb as you gently lift the right shoulder upwards towards the ceiling, and then think of curling it down towards the front of your right hip. So the top of your arm might lift off of the floor slightly. Remember to stay in comfort. And now slowly with control, release the shoulder as you slowly return to neutral. And then moving through neutral, begin to rotate and roll the arm so that your palm begins to face upwards, slowly rolling the whole arm. And then again, as it rolls open, gently pressing down into your thumb. And think now of pressing that right shoulder blade down to the floor and drawing it down your back towards the back of your right hip. Then slowly release that shoulder blade as it slides back to neutral. Slowly begin to roll your arm over again. Slowly rolling it down to palm down. And then gently pressing into the thumb as you lift the right shoulder upwards towards the ceiling and think of arcing or curling it down towards the front of your right hip. Your pinky finger of your hand and the back of your hand might lift slightly off of the floor as long as you're staying in comfort. Then slowly release as you lower the shoulder back down slowly and smoothly. When your shoulder has returned to neutral, slowly beginning to roll the hand and arm over again. As your palm begins to turn upwards, you're going to continue rolling that arm as far as you can, staying in comfort as you roll it backwards. Pressing the right shoulder blade down to the floor now and thinking of drawing it down across the floor, or sorry, not across, but down towards the back of the right hip. Then slowly releasing again as the shoulder blade slowly melts back towards neutral. The hand will slowly begin to roll over the whole arm, slowly rolling downwards again now. And again, when you've come to palm down, gently pressing into the thumb as you lift your right shoulder upwards towards the ceiling and think of arcing it up and down towards the front of your right hip. Then slowly, with control, release as you slowly return to neutral. And when you've returned to neutral, rest. Take a moment to sense from side to side. Do you feel a difference from your right arm and shoulder compared to your left? We'll repeat this exercise on the left arm now. So begin to roll your left arm downwards, slowly rotating the entire arm until your palm is down. And when the palm is down, gently pressing into your thumb, lifting the left shoulder up towards the ceiling now and thinking of arcing it up and around towards the front of your left hip. Slowly, with control, release as you slowly lower the shoulder back down and slowly begin to rotate the arm, rolling it to palm upwards, moving slowly with awareness, and then gently pressing into the back of your thumb, rotating the arm and pressing that left shoulder blade down to the floor, and now thinking of drawing it down across the floor towards the back of your left hip. Slowly, with control, release as your shoulder blade slowly melts back to neutral. And moving through neutral, continuing to roll your arm and hand, rolling it back downwards. And once the palm is downwards, gently pressing into your thumb, lifting the the left shoulder off of the floor and arcing it up and down towards the front of your left hip. And slowly, with control, releasing as you lower the shoulder as smoothly as you can, slowly rolling the arm back to palms up. And gently pressing into the back of the thumb as your arm rotates back, gently pressing now the left shoulder blade to the floor and drawing it along the floor towards the back of your left hip. And slowly releasing as the shoulder blade slides back to neutral, your arm slowly rolling over, working for slow, smooth movement. And when you're back down to palm down, again, pressing into your thumb as the arm rolls downwards, lifting the left shoulder up and arcing it up and down towards the front of your left hip. And slowly with control, releasing as you slowly allow your shoulder and arm to return to neutral. And when you've returned to neutral, rest. And once you've had a moment of rest, I'd like you now to bring your right hand up to your chest. So you're making like a chicken wing with your arm. So your hand will rest on your chest above your, so on your chest, just above your boob. I'd like you now to turn your head slightly to the right. Just a small, slight turn of your head to the right. Good. Next, what I'd like you to do is lift your right elbow and at the same time, tuck your chin and lift your head slightly off of the floor. So lifting your right elbow, tucking your chin, lifting your head. Then slowly lowering your head and elbow back down and slowly untucking your chin. When you've returned to neutral, rest. We're going to do that same movement again, but this time, turning your head again first towards the right, turning slightly. Now, before you lift your elbow and head this time, I'd like you to think of gently squeezing your chin and your shoulder towards each other. So go ahead, gently squeeze your chin and shoulder towards each other. And then, as long as you're still in comfort, lift your head and your elbow just slightly. Then slowly lower the head, slowly lowering the elbow, and then slowly releasing the gentle squeeze between your chin and your shoulder as you slowly turn your head back to center. Repeat that one more time, turning your head slightly to the right. Then gently squeezing your chin and shoulder towards each other, lifting your elbow and head just slightly. Then slowly lowering your head and elbow. And then slowly melting your chin and shoulder away from each other. And slowly turning your head back to center. When you've returned to center, take a moment of rest. We're going to repeat this exercise on the opposite arm. So go ahead and lengthen the right arm out as you bring the left palm up to your chest. And then turning your head now slightly to the left. And remember, for the first one, you're just going to tuck your chin, lifting your head and your elbow at the same time. So go ahead, tuck the chin, lifting your head and your elbow. Then slowly releasing as you lower your head and elbow back down. Slowly returning to neutral. Repeating that one again, turning your head slightly to the left. And this time now thinking of gently squeezing your chin and shoulder towards each other. Then gently lifting your head and elbow. Slowly lower your head and elbow back down. Then slowly allowing your chin and shoulder to melt away from each other. As you slowly return to neutral. Once you've had a moment of rest, we'll repeat that one more time. Turning your head slightly to the left. Gently squeezing your chin and shoulder towards each other. Gently lifting your head and elbow. Slowly lowering the head and the elbow. And slowly melting your chin and shoulder away from each other as you slowly turn your head back to center. And slowly bringing that left arm back out into that T position. We're going to do some hip hiking next. So you can leave your knees and feet where they are, but take your arms wherever they feel comfortable. You might want to leave them there, or maybe you want to bring them down long beside you. So starting on the right side, I'd like you to think of hiking your right hip along the floor upwards towards your right armpit. At the same time, think of gently pressing the left knee away from you, pressing into the left foot and pressing the left knee gently away as you hike the right hip. And slowly, with control, release in both sides as you slowly return to neutral. And moving through neutral, repeating on the opposite side. So hiking your left hip now gently up towards your left armpit, pressing into your right foot slightly to help you press the right knee away from you. Then slowly releasing both the hip hike and the pressing away of the opposite side as you slowly return to neutral. And again, moving through neutral, hiking now the right hip along the floor, upwards towards your right armpit. This time also think of pulling that right armpit downwards towards your hip. Pressing the left knee away from you, then slowly releasing in your right side. Slowly allowing your hip and armpit to melt away from each other. Again, moving through neutral. Begin to press into the right foot, pressing the right knee away as you slowly hike the left hip upwards towards the left armpit and draw out the left armpit downwards towards your hip. Slowly releasing the contraction on the left, the length on the right. Moving through neutral, repeating one more time on each side, hiking the right hip again now upwards towards your right armpit as you gently press into the left foot, pressing the left knee away from you. And slowly releasing. Moving through neutral, gently pressing into the right foot now as you hike the left hip upwards towards the left armpit. Gently squeezing on the left side as you lengthen on the right. And slowly, with control, releasing as you slowly melt back to neutral. And when you've returned to neutral, rest. Once you've had a moment of rest, we're going to move next into the wash rag. So if you know you're going to need pillows, please place a pillow on either side of your knees so that you have a comfortable resting spot. And then bring your arms straight out from your shoulders. We're going to start with the upper body. So rotating the right arm upwards, begin to slowly rotate the left arm down as you slowly turn your head to the right. And slowly, with control, we'll reverse this movement as you begin to slowly rotate the right arm down. The left will slowly roll up as your head is slowly turning to the left. I'm reversing this movement again as you slowly begin to rotate the left arm down, the right slowly rotates up. Your head is slowly turning to the right. We're going to add the knees in now on this next movement. Begin to rotate the arms again as your knees begin to drift to the right. The right arm begins to roll down. The left arm begins to roll up. Your head is slowly turning to the left as your knees drift to the right. Your entire pelvis will roll and rotate to the right. Allow your feet and legs to move to help you to stay in comfort. And then slowly reversing again as you bring your knees up towards the left, your right arm rolling upward, your left arm slowly rolling down as your head slowly begins to turn to the right. And slowly reversing again. Bringing the knees up and over to the right as you roll the right arm down. The left begins to roll up. Your head is slowly turning to the left. When you've gone as far as you can comfortably to that side, switching again, and at your own pace, I'd like you to do 1 or 2 more to each side. Moving slowly with awareness, staying in comfort, never forcing any movement. Notice how this movement becomes more and more delicious as you continue to twist, lengthening in your back, rolling and rotating in the pelvis. When you finish the one that you are on, you'll come back to neutral and take a moment of rest. Keeping your knees bent and your feet flat on the floor, we're going to move back up into our face, jaw, and neck. What I'd like you to do now is think of jutting your bottom jaw upwards towards the ceiling. Then as slow and smooth as you can, release as you slowly allow your jaw to return to neutral. Let's repeat that same one again. Jutting the bottom jaw straight up towards the ceiling. But this time, once the jaw is up towards the ceiling, gently bite your teeth together. Then slowly open your teeth. Then slowly allow your jaw to come back to neutral. Let's repeat that one again. Pressing the bottom jaw, jutting it straight up towards the ceiling, and then gently biting. So your bottom teeth, you'll be doing almost like an underbite, where your bottom teeth are in front of your top teeth. Then slowly allow your teeth to separate. Then slowly allow your jaw to melt back to neutral. Next, I'd like you to gently bite your teeth together and at the same time, think of scrunching your face. So you're gently biting your teeth together and you're doing like a scrunch face. So you're kind of squeezing your eyes and your nose and your lips. And now slowly release as slow and smooth as you can. Allow your face to slowly melt to neutral. And then slowly creating space in your mouth as you allow your teeth to slowly separate, as you slowly melt to neutral. We're going to come back to that exercise in a moment. What I'd like you to do next is slowly roll onto your side, and hopefully you have your pillow nearby because I'd like you to be able to rest your head on your pillow. We'll roll onto the left side so that your right side is facing up. I'd like you now to take your right hand and bring your fingertips just below your right ear. And just gently outline, feel the outline of your bottom of your jaw, just below your ear. And find that spot where you can feel your jawbone below the ear. I'd like you to add just a tiny little bit of pressure with your fingertips on your jaw. Very, very light, like as if maybe the pressure of like 2 pieces of paper. So your fingertips are just resting very lightly on your right jaw. What I'd like you to do next is open your mouth slightly and begin to slide your right jaw up towards the ceiling as you gently create just a little bit of pressure with your fingertips. Then slowly release as you allow your jaw to slowly melt back to neutral. And if it feels like you can open slightly past neutral or allowing your jaw to just melt into comfort. And then rest. We're going to repeat that same one again. So again, with a little bit of pressure of your fingertips into the right side of your jaw, opening your teeth slightly, and now sliding your bottom jaw upwards towards the ceiling. And now I'd also like you to lift your head just slightly off of the pillow. Very, very slight. Slowly lower your head down, then slowly begin to release in the jaw with that little bit of pressure from your fingertips, slowly allowing your jaw to melt back to neutral. Repeating that same one more time. With that pressure on the jaw, sliding your teeth open slightly and then sliding your bottom jaw upwards towards the ceiling, creating a little bit of pressure with your fingertips. This time now think of gently squeezing your ear and shoulder on the top, your right ear and shoulder towards each other. Then slowly allow your ear and shoulder to melt away from each other. Then slowly allow your jaw to release as it very, very slowly returns to neutral. Still staying on your side, I'd like you to rest your arm or your hand now. So you'll take your fingers away from your face. And this time I'd like you to lift your head just slightly off of the pillow as you think of tucking your right ear down towards your shoulder as you gently lift your head. Then slowly release as you lower your head back down to your pillow as slowly as you can. When you've returned to neutral, make sure to take a moment of rest. We're going to slowly roll over onto our opposite side as we repeat this exercise on the left. Once you've rolled over onto your left side, bringing your left hand up and feeling with your fingertips just below and slightly behind your ear, finding the edge of your jaw on the left side. And creating just a little bit of pressure with your fingertips here. I'd like you now to allow your teeth to separate or open slightly as you then slide your left jaw upwards towards the ceiling. And slowly, with control, moving as slowly as you can, you'll release as your jaw slowly returns to neutral. Slowly, with control. Making sure to take a moment of rest in neutral, allowing your jaw to be relaxed. Or repeat that one again. So opening your teeth slightly and then sliding your bottom jaw upwards towards the ceiling as you create a little bit of pressure with your fingertips. And now gently squeeze your ear and shoulder towards each other on the left side. Then slowly melt your ear and shoulder away from each other. Then slowly releasing in the jaw as it slowly slides back to neutral. Repeating that same one more time, sliding the bottom jaw upwards towards the ceiling. And gently squeezing your ear and shoulder towards each other. Then slowly releasing in the ear and shoulder as they melt away from each other, slowly releasing in the jaw. As you slowly melt back to neutral. And slowly taking that left arm down somewhere comfortable. And now lifting your head slightly off of your pillow as you think of tucking your top ear towards your shoulder. And then slowly releasing as you slow and smooth lower your head back down. Slowly melting back to neutral. When you've returned to neutral, taking a moment of rest, then slowly, when you're ready, rolling back over onto your back. I'd like you to rest your head on a pillow if you're not already doing that for these next couple of exercises. Your knees can be bent or your legs can be long, whichever feels more comfortable for you. Still working with the jaw. Let's go back to that biting and scrunch face. So gently bringing your teeth together, just a very, very soft bite. Your teeth are just barely touching. And then gently scrunch your face, your lips, your nose, your eyes. Then slow and smooth, release the scrunch of your face as you slowly allow your jaw to relax. This time, I'd like you again to gently bite your teeth together. And now, keeping your mouth closed, I'd like you to create space in your mouth by allowing your bottom jaw to relax. Your lips will stay together, your mouth will stay closed. Once your bottom jaw is relaxed as far as it can with your mouth remaining closed, I'd like you to imagine now that if you were to take your right finger, your pointer finger, and place it in the roof of your mouth, I'd like you to imagine now that you are gently pressing from the center of the roof of your mouth upwards, straight up towards the top or the crown of your head, creating space by lifting the roof of your mouth. As you create this space in your mouth, you will continue to breathe comfortably, breathing in and out through your nose as you hold this open, comfortable, relaxed position. Try to hold it and do at least 3 or 4 full breaths. We're going to repeat that exact same exercise again. So again, bringing your teeth together, just a gentle touch of the teeth. Then slowly creating space, keeping your mouth closed, allowing your bottom jaw to open a slight amount downwards. And then creating even more space by imagining that you've taken that finger and you're pressing from the roof of your mouth straight up through the top of your head, creating space between your teeth, relaxing in your jaw and your face, holding this open, comfortable position now for at least 3 or 4 full breaths. We're going to move back into our head and neck, this time keeping your jaw relaxed. I'd like you to think of lifting your face straight up to the ceiling. Remember that you do not need to lift your head high to engage in the back of your head and neck. Go ahead and lift your face straight upwards, bringing your awareness to the back of your head and neck, and then slowly releasing as you allow the weight of your head to melt back into your pillow. This time, after you've had a moment of rest, I'd like you to bring your hands up and place them on the front of your neck, somewhere between your chin and your collarbone. Just lay them there lightly so that you can feel the engagement of, we're going to work to engage the front of the neck this time. I'd like you to think now of jutting your chin straight up to the ceiling, but without actually lifting your head. So jutting your chin straight up. Hopefully you can feel the muscles underneath of your fingertips engage, and then slowly release as you slowly return to neutral. We'll repeat that same one again, except this time I'd like you to turn your head slightly to the right. And again, think of jutting your chin straight up to the ceiling without lifting your head, engaging in the front of the neck, then slowly releasing. Then slowly turning your head back to center. Turning your head slightly to the left now. Repeating the same movement, jutting your chin straight upwards, engaging in the front of the neck, and then slowly releasing. And then slowly turning your head back to center. Allowing your arms to move back down somewhere comfortable. Turning your head again slightly to the right. But this time, I'd like you to tuck your chin and gently lift your head and your right shoulder as you bring your chin and right shoulder towards each other. Then slowly release as you melt your chin and shoulder away from each other, slowly lowering your head back down to your pillow. And slowly turning your head back to center. Turning your head now slightly to the left. And again, tucking your chin as you gently lift your head, squeezing your shoulder and chin towards each other. And slowly melting your chin and shoulder away as you slowly lower your head. And slowly turn your head back to center. When you've returned to center, we're going to do one more where your face lifts straight up to the ceiling. When you're ready, face moving straight upwards as your head lifts just very slightly off of your pillow, and then slow as you can release as you lower your head back down to your pillow and rest. Next, we're going to move down to the lower part of our body. We're going to move into a flow between our clam and our knock knee exercises. If you think your feet are going to be catching on your mat, please scooch down to the bottom or scooch higher up on your mat so that your feet won't be catching the bottom of your mat, rolling it upwards. We'll start this from legs long, so slowly sliding your feet along the floor until your legs are long. Then we're going to begin with the clam. So turning externally, rotating both legs as you turn the soles of your feet towards each other. Begin to slide your feet along the floor upwards towards your butt. Your knees are opening to the side. Then slow and smooth, sliding your feet along the floor back to legs long. As slow and smooth as you can. When you return to legs long, you will move through neutral as you internally rotate both legs, now turning the soles of your feet outwards, then sliding your heels out away from each other and up towards the outside of your hips as your knees come together. Then slow and smooth, sliding your feet again along the floor. Back to legs long. And again, you'll move through neutral as your legs become long. You'll externally rotate both legs, bringing the soles of your feet towards each other, and then slowly sliding your feet upwards towards your butt. And slow and smooth, sliding your feet again along the floor, back to legs long. And again, moving through neutral, you'll internally rotate both legs as you turn the soles of your feet away from each other, your heels coming apart, your knees coming together as you slide your feet upwards towards the outside of your hips. Then slowly sliding back to legs long. At your own pace, I'd like you to do one more clam, one more knock knees, and then you will take a moment of rest in neutral. And you're back to legs long. Take a moment of rest and a moment to sense how you're feeling. We're going to move next into one of the walking exercises. So I'd like you to do now is bend both of your knees, bring your feet flat to the floor. And you're going to move your feet hip width or even a little further apart. We're going to do the number 2 walking exercise, the horizontal walking. So your arms can be wherever they feel comfortable. Slowly with control, allow your right knee to drift inwards towards the left. As that knee begins to drift inwards, gently lift your right hip as your entire pelvis begins to roll to the left. Think of pressing a little bit from your right glute to help you to lift that hip as your bottom of your torso rolls. Then slow and smooth, lower the hip back down as you slowly bring your knee back to center or neutral. And we're going to move through neutral into the opposite side as you begin to allow your left knee to drift inwards towards the right, gently pressing into your left foot and using your left glute and the left side of your back to help you lift your back and your pelvis as it rolls to the right. Then slowly lowering, slowly bringing your knee back to center. And again, you will roll through neutral, moving to the opposite side, allowing the right knee to drift in. If it feels comfortable, allow your right foot to move out even further to the side, allowing your right knee to drift inwards even more. And again, pressing from that right glute, press your hips upwards and over to the left. Remember to stay in comfort. Slowly release as you lower the hip and your back down, bringing your knee back to center, moving through neutral, moving to the opposite side. Again, allowing the left foot to move slightly outwards to allow the left knee to drift inwards even more, as long as you're staying in comfort, pressing upwards from your left side of your back and hip, and then slowly releasing as you lower your back and pelvis down, bringing the left knee back up. And this time, when you've returned to neutral, rest. We're going to move next into our arch and curl. So when you're ready, you'll bring your hands behind your head if you can do this comfortably. If not, you could do rolling arms this morning if that feels more comfortable for you. And we'll be starting with the arch on your next inhale. When you're ready, inhale and arch. Your belly button rises, tailbone presses down, and gently press your shoulder blades to the floor, thinking of drawing them towards the back of your hips. Exhale now as you release in your back, allowing your pelvis and shoulder blades to melt away from each other slowly with control. Doing another inhale here, and now as you exhale, flatten your back to the floor, tightening abdominal muscles, bring your elbows together, gently lift your head and chest. Bring your awareness now to your belly as you slowly release, lowering your head as slow and smooth as you can. When your head is resting, slowly opening your elbows. When you return to neutral, take a moment of rest, and at your own pace, I'd like you to complete this flow between arch and curl 1 or 2 more times. Challenging yourself to go even slower and even smoother and maybe even smaller as you move through your arch and curl, releasing in the front and in the back of your body as you lengthen and soften. When you finish the one that you're on, take a moment of rest in neutral. Once you've had your moment of rest, you'll slowly move yourself back into your soma scan position. As you're getting cozy in your soma scan position, start by bringing your awareness back to your breath. Breathing in through your nose, out through your nose or mouth, whichever feels more comfortable for you. Try to remember how your breath felt when we first laid down this morning. Did your breath feel easeful, or did it feel forced? Has that changed? How deeply were you breathing when we first started? And what was the pace of your breathing? Are you breathing slower now? Are you breathing deeper? Were you noticing or feeling any pain or tension with your breath when we started? What are you noticing and feeling now? Bring your awareness now to your head and your neck. Try to remember how your head felt laying on the floor when we started. Compare that to what you're feeling now. Turning your head slightly to one side, and then slow and smooth, turning it back to center, and compare this to how this movement felt when we started. Has it changed? Are you moving smoother than you were when we started? Turning your head to the other side and slowly coming back to center. Were you feeling any pain or tension in this movement when we started this morning? What are you noticing and feeling now? With your next breath, bring your awareness to your chest, your shoulders, and your shoulder blades. How did your shoulders and shoulder blades feel when we started this morning? Did they feel even? Did you feel a difference from side to side? Were you feeling any pain or tension? What are you noticing and feeling here now? Try to remember how you had your arms and hands placed. Are they in the same position? Has it changed? Were you noticing or feeling any pain or tension in your chest or your arms? What are you feeling here now? Moving down to your mid, belly, and back as you take your next breath. Can you feel your chest and belly rise with your breath? Does this feel different than it did this morning? Moving into your low back and pelvis. How did your low back feel when we started this morning? Did it feel relaxed to the floor? Did it feel tight and tense? How does it feel now? Were you noticing a difference from side to side in your pelvis or in the tops of your legs? What are you noticing and feeling here now? Still breathing comfortably, staying relaxed, moving all the way down through your legs, knees, calves, ankles, and feet. Taking note of any changes that you're feeling. And when you're ready, without rushing, just slowly roll to your side and come up to sitting.